Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are going to present translation techniques found in English to Indonesian abstract translation of Journal Edunomica 2018 by Tira Nurfitria. My name is Rifla Zalifatun Hasikasafa and my friends.
Hello, my name is Atiana.
Hi, my name is Shifa Adelia.
I'm Koni Amelia.
Hello, I'm Tiara Sari.
I'm Herdiandi Saida. Hello, I'm Hakamila.
Hello, I'm Salwa Salsabila.
Hello, my name is Vidara Aura.
In introduction has 8 main points in translation. Number 1, role of translation in communication. Translation serves as a medium for transferring knowledge and information across different languages and cultures. It helps people understand each other, languages, and cultures by bridging the linguistic gap. Number 2, nature of translation. Translation involves not just changing words, but also conveying cultural equivalence between the original and target languages. Number 3, function of translation. Translation functions as a means to share information, stories, experiences, and knowledge across different languages. It's crucial in various fields such as literature, education, science, medicine, history, technology, law, politics, art, religion, business, and etc. Number 4, role of abstract in translation. Abstract are concise summaries of paper that help reader quickly understand the purpose of the research of article. They are vital component of academic writing, acting as independent entities representing the main paper essence. Number 5, challenges in translating abstract. Translating abstract requires expertise in structure and translation technique. Lack of proficiency, especially for those outside the English department, can lead to difficulties in accurate translation. Number 6, importance of skill and technique in translation. Translator need proficiency in linguistic system, cultural knowledge, and equivalent of word between languages. The process of translation aims to produce equivalent text that reader of the target language can understand. Number 7, translation technique quiz. There are various techniques used in translation, including adaptation borrowing, calcul, literature translation, modulation, reduction, etc. Number 8, analysis of translation technique. The aim is to identify and determine the most dominant type of translation technique employed in this abstract.
I want to explain about literature review. Translation is not merely changing form, but is the process of transferring meaning from source language to target language, crucially finding equivalent meanings between languages. Based on Surya Winata, describes the translation process as a model that outlines the thinking process a translator engages in while translating a text from source language to target language. It means the translation process is like a guide that shows how a translator thinks while changing a text from one language to another language. The next one is translation tools. The first tools is conventional tools such as pen and paper as the common tools for a translator. And then dictionaries. There is bilingual dictionaries, monolingual dictionaries, and multilingual dictionaries. And the next one is thesaurus. In the thesaurus, the word is followed by several equivalent words, including synonym or antonym of the word. And then encyclopedia. The encyclopedia can give information and knowledge to the translators so that they can find the equivalent word or meaning of the text that being translated. And then modern tools. There is electronic dictionaries. For the shape, it is similar to calculator, but this dictionary only can give limited information about the words and without giving the examples. And then internet searches. It is an easiest way because the translator only needs to download the program on their computer or even on their phone, and there are many websites with online dictionaries and translation-related materials that can help the translator.
And the next literature review is about abstract. Abstract is a concise summary of a scientific paper, research article, thesis, or in-depth analysis of a subject, providing the paper's purpose and key points. Abstract serve as the entry point for an academic paper, allowing professionals to stay updated with scientific literature. Abstract concisely describes the project's content, scope, objective, methodology, findings, and conclusion. An abstract helps reader quickly determine relevance and assist in quick retrieval through library databases. Abstract must incorporate key terms for easy searchability and attracts readers' attention to the paper. And there are two types of abstract, descriptive abstract and informative abstract. Descriptive abstract explains the work without judgment, typically around 100 words, indicating the type of information found but not the result or conclusion, while informative abstract includes information from the descriptive along with the result, conclusion, recommendation, and can be up to 10% of entire work's length. And the structure of abstract should contain a clear statement of the topic, description of participants or materials, procedures followed, statistical analysis used, and a summary of results and their implication. An abstract divided into three major parts: opening, body, and conclusion. Opening briefly explains the topic and reason for research. Body include detailed research activities, problem objective, method, and then supported by theories. And in closing, there are conclusion, implication, and the last is suggestion.
The first translation technique is adaptation. Adaptation is to find the cultural equivalence of the source language in the target language. For example, in source language is "don't cry over the spilled milk." So in the target language become "jangan menyesali apa yang sudah terjadi." It should not be translated literally as "jangan menangisi susu yang tumpah." So adaptation it means to find meaning that is correct or suitable in translation. The second is amplification. Is used for adding linguistic element. It is employed in consecutive interpreting and dubbing. Based on the text, the girl come late. Translation into Indonesia become wanita muda itu datang terlambat. From the target language, we can see there is linguistic element added, namely word muda. Number 3 is borrowing. Borrowing is taking a words from original text into another text. For example, is setting remains setting and panic in bahasa Indonesia become panik. Number 4 is kalki. Kalki is literally translation of foreign word or phrase and it can be lexical or structural. For example, in search language, he is new teacher. In target language become dia adalah guru yang baru. We know that new is baru, teacher it means guru, but after translated into target language is become guru baru, not baru guru. Number 5 is compensation. Compensation shift information from one part of the true language to another when it can't be placed in the same spot as in the search language. For example, glasses. Glasses or kacamata in English it is a pair or sepasang, but in bahasa Indonesia glasses means sebuah. I have a glasses. You can just directly say saya punya sebuah kacamata, not saya punya sepasang kacamata. Number 6 is the description. Description substitutes terms in the search language within a description in the target language. Used when there's no direct translation. For example, I like getuk. So in the target language become I like getuk. Getuk adalah makanan dari Jawa yang terbuat dari singkong.
Number 7, discursive creation. Discursive creation uses equivalent translation technique outside their original context, often seen in movie, book, or novel titles. For example, search language, the good father. Target language, sang good father. Number 8, established equivalence. Established equivalence translates term already widely used in the target language from the search language. For example, search language, sincerely yours. Target language, hormat kami. Number 9, generalization. Generalization a term into a more widely known one when the search language term refer to a specific section not present in the target language. For example, bajai is Bajaj is translated to vehicle. Number 10. Linguistic amplification. Linguistic amplification adds linguistic elements from the source language into the target language, often used in interpreting or dubbing. For example, source language, everything is up to you. Target language, semuanya terserah Anda sendiri. 11. Linguistic compressions. Linguistic compression condenses linguistic elements common in interpreting or dubbing. For example, search language, are you hungry? Target language, lapar. 12. Literal translation. Literal translation translates expressions word for word from search language to target language. For example, search language, I will love you. Target language, aku akan mencintai kamu.
13. Modulation. Modulation changes the focus or cognitive aspect in the search language, whether lexical or structural. Search language, nobody doesn't like it. Target language, semua orang menyukainya. 14. Particularization. Particularization uses more concrete and specific terms, contrasting with generalization. SL, the girl likes to collect jewelry. Target language, gadis itu senang mengoleksi kalung emas. 15. Reduction. Reduction condenses information from the SL to the TL without altering the message. SL, the boy got a car accident, and TL, lelaki itu mengalami kecelakaan. 16. Substitution. Substitution swaps linguistic elements for paralinguistic or vice versa. For example, nodding head in Indonesia is translated as yes. 17. Transposition. Transposition changes grammatical categories from the SL to the TL, often used to two different grammatical structures. SL, I have no control over this condition. TL, saya tidak dapat mengendalikan kondisi ini. And the last, 18. Variation. Variation replaces linguistic element or paralinguistic factors influenced by tone, style, geographical dialect, or social factors. SL, give it to me now. TL, berikan buku itu ke gue sekarang.
Research methods. In the first research design, the strategy was designed as a descriptive research. Marshall and Rosman defined that qualitative data analysis is a short for general statement about relationship. Research methods. In the first research design, the research was designed as descriptive research. Marshall and Rosman defined that qualitative data analysis is a short for general statement about relationship between categories of data. In this study, the qualitative methods will be used because the data which is analyzed is explained descriptively. The data to be analyzed are in the form of word, phrase, and clausa. 2. Data and data source. The data were taken from abstract journal in both English and Indonesian abstract translation. The source data used in this research are 16 abstract from in Indonomica Journal of STEA. 3. Data collection technique according to Brown and Rogers. Before anything useful can be done with the research data, this data has to be compiled. Compiling data means putting all the data together in one place in such a way that you can easily analyze and interpret them. The method of collecting data in this study is the observation method. The observation method is applied by truly observing the searched language of the text and its translation in the target language. This method of observation implemented and ends with the implementation of note-taking technique. The note-taking technique is to identify and classify the data based on the technique of translation in order to formulate the analysis. The data collected in this study are primarily data since they were directly collected from data searched by using the observation method and note-taking technique. The first step is a close reading of the search language, text, and that of the target. All instances, the techniques of translation in the search language and their translation in the target language were underlined and noted down and then taken as data for analysis. Then occurrence, the techniques of translation are classified based of types of methods of translation as proposed by Molina and Albir. And the last, the technique of analyzing data. The data collected were analyzed descriptively. They were classified according to the types of the translation technique which are proposed by Molin. Theory, after identifying the data will be classified on each type. A description, then the data were tabulated by using a statistical formula and out the student technique in translating their undergrad thesis abstract for Indonesian language into English.
From the table, it can be seen that the translation techniques are categorized into 5 categories. They are transposition or sieve. This is 126 occurrences or 75.90%. And the second one, reduction or omission, is 21 occurrences or 12.65%. Then 3, amplification or addition, is 8 occurrences or 4.82%. Next, established equivalence is 6 occurrences or 3.61%, and borrowing is 5 occurrences or 3.01%. The first most dominant types of translation techniques is transposition or sieve. It is for about 126 errors and the percentage is 75.90%. The most dominant type of translation technique found in the abstracts of Eugenomica Journal of STIE AAS Surakarta in Volume 2, Number 1 or 2018 is transposition or sieve. It is for about 126 data and the percentage is 75.90%. Translation technique that replaces the grammatical categories of the source language into the target language. This technique is usually used because a different grammar between a source language and target language. Transposition is the process where parts of the speech change their sequence when they are translated without changing the meaning of the message. This requires that the translator knows that it is possible to replace a word category in the target language without altering the meaning of the source text. In transposition or sieve, translation text as well as the patterns of sieve is used to solve different structures between English and Indonesian language.
Based on the analysis problem, aim of this analysis are formulated are to identify the types of translation techniques and to find out the most dominant type of the translation technique used in translating journal abstract in Eugenomica Journal. STIAAS Surakarta in Volume 2, Number 1, 2018. From the analysis, it can be concluded that the translation techniques are categorized into 5 categories. They are transposition or sieve, 126 data, or 75-90%, reduction or omission, 21 data, or 12-65%, application or addition, 8 data, or 4.82%, established equivalence, 6 data, or 3.61%, and borrowing, 5 or 3.01%.